blade on it. Oh, that was awesome. Hey guys, so today we have this, an old mulch and mow lawnmower by Yardworks. And yep, you saw that right, it's powered with a Tecumseh engine. I'm not quite sure what to think of this, but it's a right disaster. We picked this up for my kid because we found a body that was missing the engine and was also missing the transmission. So when I saw this, I figured, you know what, let's go take a look. Maybe it's something that I can fix for him so he can get his project of a lawnmower up and running. He wanted to get an engine for the body he had found, so luck would have it, I got my hands on this one. So let's crack into it and see all the little hidden problems in this lawnmower. Because looking at the condition of this carburetor, it's quite likely there are a lot. And no, you didn't miss that. There really is no gas tank. I actually had removed it because this lawnmower has been here since early summer because I was using it as a temporary fuel tank, like up here in this video. Okay, well, first things first, take the plug off. Well, shit. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Yeah, something tells me this wasn't supposed to come out. Well, good thing I've got an extra coil. Oh, this is going to be interesting. All right, let me get the other camera set up. All right, so let's get this spark plug off. 13/16. Well, it looks to me like it's burning just fine. I don't see anything wrong here. And it's a Champion RJ19LM. Perfect. Let's get this exhaust off, which is a 7/16. I find often, I don't know why, but the surface rust doesn't seem to penetrate to the threads. Never really have an issue getting those off. So next we'll get these two Phillips off. I've never had any luck getting a 3/8 in there to take it off, but let's see if a 3/8 will fit. Nope. And nope. So you have to use a Phillips. And you should use a number 3 Phillips. I'm going to try my chances with an impact and a number 2. Yep, that one worked. Let's try with an extension. Yep, no problem. It's off. Ooh, bit of corrosion in that one. Look at that. Look at the corrosion in that one. Right, is it free? Nope. Let's give it a whack. Actually, let's get yellow out. Come here, yellow. There we go. Yellow to the rescue. There we go. A little bit of wiggling. Come on. Let go. Ain't worth it to hold on. Just full of disaster, heartbreak, and pain. I'm making a new gasket again. Darn it. Oh well. What can you do? All right. Not worried about fuel being in here. This fuel line's a pain. There we go. That one always comes off super easy. But this fuel line is rock hard. Right. There. Okay, carburetor's off. Okay, there we go. The carburetor's off. Nice. And would you look at that? A red subscribe button. Hit that red subscribe button down below and don't forget to like and comment. I mean, I'm still on a push to get to that 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So it really would be beneficial if you did give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. Oh, what's this? Where'd this screw come from? Interesting. I don't know where that screw would have come from. It has no place on this lawnmower at all. Right, let's get this 5/16 out. The other one seems to be missing. Go, 5/16. That one's out. Now to release this oil tube, another 5/16 right here. And 2 3/8 in the back. Right, so one right here. Weird how none of these are tight. Even the spark plug wasn't tight. I was expecting it to be really tight. I'll just wait for that to shut off. Well, the throttle cable's not connected, so I might as well remove these. Oh, looks like one of the linkages is still connected. The transmission linkage is still connected. Okay, that's gone. Now let's get the other 3/8 off. Not tight at all. Lift this away. This pull rope, pretty sure it's snapped and is a little bit too short. So we're going to clean this up and replace the rope on it. All right, we know we have to replace this coil. So it looks like it takes 1/4 inch. And because we are replacing it, we're going to completely remove it. Well, we remove both screws since we are replacing this coil. If you remember this video, the teardown video of that lawn boy with the Tecumseh engine, the donor coil is coming from that engine. Here's the donor coil, and there's the original. Yeah, they're identical. So we'll turn the engine, reconnect the ground kill switch, put the 2/4 inch bolts in, and we'll reseat them down. Now I'm going to grab a business card. I have a bunch from the local rent-a-car when my Scion got written off because I knew I'd use it for this purpose. So we turn the flywheel in between and we just release both sides. Now we tighten it down, rotate it out, and that's it. The coil's now set. Next, I'm going to grab the vacuum and I'm going to give this a cleaning because this top, it's terrible. And, okay. It's just oil in the intake. But it looks like it's been sucking in sand. Looks like it's been sandblasted here. I don't know how well that comes up on camera. Let me see, I'll turn on the flashlight. There we go. I don't know how well that comes up on camera, but it looks like it's been sandblasted if it's ingesting debris, like it was run without that air filter on. And look at the exhaust. The exhaust looks like it has some damage to it too. That's not a good sign. Hopefully nothing's damaged in the engine, but because it's offset, really does make it hard to get a borescope in there, but maybe we'll try it. Maybe we should try it. I do have the borescope here. I just got to get my tablet and then we can, I guess, have a peek inside and see what's going on. All right, let me get that all set up. And in the meantime, while I do get that, I'm going to collect my vacuum and we're going to clean this up because this is terrible. All right, see you soon, guys. All right, let's get this bowl opened. So 1/2 inch. Oh, looks like there's water in it. Pretty sure. It doesn't really smell like gasoline, so I'm guessing it's water. There's the emulsion tube in there, and it's red, so we'll pop that out. Let's get the gasket off so I can clean it up. Hopefully it doesn't deteriorate. Nope. It's actually in pretty good condition still. Good. There we go. Float's good, no water in it. Needle looks good. Seat seems okay, but to be safe, let's go take it out. Give me 1 sec. Grab the Tecumseh tool, part number. The seat doesn't look that great. Squishy, but it's really dirty. I have new ones, so I'll replace it. So let's get the intake off. Does the straw come out? Oof, lots of water. Terrible. There we go. Get rid of the straw. Intake gasket. Lots of water. Let's pop out that emulsion tube. Funny thing about all that water, this lawnmower has actually been inside my garage the entire time. It looks like that O-ring again stayed in place. Well, I'll leave it there for now. Now to separate the intake manifold from the carburetor. That I'll just use the 3/8 and an extension. Should be able to just pop it right off with the gun. If you don't have an impact, you'll need a 7/16 wrench and a 3/8. You can use an 11 mil on the back because 7/16 of an inch is 11 millimeter with very, very little difference. It's like 11.11 millimeter. That was not tight. Not at all. That one was a little bit tighter, but not much. So let's get this linkage off because that's not even close to where that goes. And this spring has no business being on the carburetor at all. It doesn't go on there. That spring attaches to this ear. And this ear is the RPM control of the running speed of the engine. You can't control the engine speed here at all. This doesn't control the engine speed. That's done by the governor. Or unless you have a throttle, because this is the throttle plate. And for this lawnmower, because it doesn't idle, it runs full tits out when you start it up. It's going to be set by your governor and by this flap. And you set it to around 3,000 to 3,200 RPM. This fuel line's not actually held on because this clamp is just buggered. Come on. There we go. Good. Okay, let's run this through the ultrasonic cleaner. And I don't see this as not being a running mower other than the fact that it likely was not running because probably left with old dirty gas. As for the water though, that's a little bit concerning. I hope that didn't get inside the engine, but I mean, it turns really easy, the engine, so maybe everything's okay. It's just water inside the intake. Not too big a deal. Not too big a deal. We'll clean it up, and this bowl actually is pretty clean. A little bit of sand and sediment inside, but aside from that, it's not bad at all. All right, let's get that in the ultrasonic and I'll see you after. All right, guys, got the carburetor out of the ultrasonic cleaner. And as usual with these Tecumsehs, they always end up going a funny, darker color. It's very odd. Just seems to happen with them. Not sure why, but that's just with Tecumseh. As for this gasket, I just got to clean off the rest of it. Unfortunately, I can't quite get the rest off, so let me go quickly take it off. But I had previously actually made up a gasket, so I have one. There we go, cleaned up pretty nicely. So let's get this thing together. Let's get the emulsion tube in, and we'll push it down. Then we'll put in a new needle seat. So there's the needle seat. That's the part number. See that ridge? That points to the top of the needle seat. So you put it in. There we go. That went in the rest of the way. You can use WD-40 to make it a little bit easier to go in. Our emulsion tube is in. Seat is in. As you can see, the needle went a dark color as well, but I don't see anything else wrong with it other than it's this weird dark color. Oops, I dropped it. Try that again. I'll get the pin in. It again, stupid hands. Seems parallel. It's pretty good. Now let's get the gasket on. Now the bowl, you can see this nub right here and this indent. Line that nub and that indent together, and that's how the bowl goes back on. Gasket's already in place, and here's the main jet. I just want to poke out these holes, make sure they're 100% clear. Give me 1 sec, let me grab my tools. Unfortunately, my set fell apart. What a pain. I just want to rod this out. Where's that little hole? Right here. Just want to make sure that's clear. Yep, it's clear. Perfect. This is clear. This one's clear. Excellent. All right, let's put it back in. 1/2 inch. There we go, nice and tight. Let's get the intake on. So on the fuel line side, that's where this ear goes, the 3/8 bolt, and on this side, 7/16 nut. If I could get it to thread on. My hands just aren't cooperating. There we go. First one's on. Second one. Now using my impact and 3/8, I'll just tighten these on. Now the air intake gasket in, I should say the air filter adapter. 2 pointy screws. One there, one there. It goes in the hole. Doesn't want to go in the hole. Went in the hole. You can either use a Phillips or a 1/4 inch. I've got a Phillips. Just run it down till it's snug. You don't have to give it anything special. It's only holding on plastic after all. And now we put the straw back in. Now you can put the straw in before you put the air intake adapter on or the air filter adapter, but I like to be difficult and do it after the fact. If I could remember exactly where it goes. Right. It goes right here. If I can get it in. I guess I could cheat and just pretend I got it in. Oh, I actually did get it in without cheating. Look at that. I threatened cheating and I said, okay, don't do that. Let's fix this. Weird. This silliness. Now we'll clip that on the ear. Get on there. Oh, it came off again. Isn't that nice? Try that again. And now let's mount it. All right. Take out the exhaust bolts. Now the intake bolts. 1 and 2. Let me clean up the remnants of that. There, I kind of had to fix it. I've put this intake on upside down. 7/16 holds on the exhaust. There we go. That's all back together. I don't have the fuel line on yet, but that's not a big deal. I don't have the gas tank. And about the only thing really left is, of course, this guy. So let's get this started. All right, so let's deal with this rope situation. You just pull the rope out. All right, that's about it. That's all of it. Something in to stop it. There. This rope is pretty petrified. So now I'm just going to burn the 2 ends together. Neat little trick that I do. Lots of callus on my fingers. Then we just pull it through. This is going to be fun. So that's a little, you know what? That's a little terrible, that part of the rope. Look at it. It's actually all bunched up, so that's not actually going to work. So I'm just going to snip that off again. Cut it down here. Where it's not so petrified and squished. Do that again. There we go. That's better. Now we should be able to just pull it through. Hopefully. Doesn't want to go through that last little bit, so I'll have to do that one more time. Hashtag fail. Okay, so that's a fail. That other rope, it was just way too petrified and dried out to actually work, unfortunately. So we have to do it the long way. Yeah, this rope was way too petrified. There's no flex to it at all. It's just garbage. I mean, it's highly unlikely I'd have even been able to tie it in a knot. So whenever I tried to pull it through, it would just bunch up. So now we just got to get it through the hole. And there it is. Tie a knot. I already measured about 5.5 feet. Just cut this off. Out the end. Since I didn't have one before, let's put a handle on. There we go. Okay, so it doesn't quite go all the way in. It's not so much that it's not retracting at all. It's just really sticky. Someone actually looks like they put grease in here instead. Give me one sec. I gotta clean that out first. He's spraying a little bit of PB Blaster. Looking for the opening at the spring. Yeah, already coming back to life. Look at that. Way better. Okay, so it seems to be a lot better now. Whoever thought a little bit of peanut butter blaster would help? But it did. There we go. Silly thing, didn't want to go back on. There. Finally! Right, let's get this on the engine. Alright, let's get this 5/16 out. These 2 3/8. And let's not forget the 5/16 for the oil tube. Let's get the engine shroud. Put it on. We'll get the 2 3/8 in the back. Put those on first. And of course, lastly, this 5/16 goes right here into the engine shroud. Now we'll quickly zip those down. Starting with the 5/16 at the front. And the one on the oil tube. And then the 2 3/8 at the back. Perfect. Right. Now, you just have to get the spark plug on, but I want to try pulling it over before, and I know I still got to put the linkages on. We'll get to that in a second. Right, but I don't want to put the spark plug in, not quite yet, because I want to pull the engine over at least a couple times, just slowly. I just want to make sure that it's properly engaging, because this engine we weren't able to pull over because that thing was so gummed up and the rope was so short. So I just want to make sure that everything's good and everything's engaged when I pull it. And this will make it a lot easier because now the engine will at least have no compression. Perfect. Excellent. And it's retracting the rope all the way in. There's one other thing that I kind of never really mentioned about this mower. It has no blade and no blade adapter. So starting it will be a bit of a pain because, well, it has no blade and no blade adapter. So these are kind of designed to run with that kind of weight attached. It helps keep the momentum of the engine running. Anyway, so let's get to these linkages on this carburetor. So this linkage, I actually have to take the carburetor off to reattach it to the engine. So let me take the carburetor off. And as soon as the carburetor's off, I'll show you how to hook up the next part of it. All right, so the carburetor's off. So let's get that linkage on. So it flips through like this, and it goes into the top hole. Just like that. And this one that always falls off, as you see, put it behind and through the bottom hole. And then we'll quickly reattach the carburetor to the engine. All right, as soon as I'm done assembling this, we'll be right back. Right, now there we go. As you can see, the governor now has full control over the throttle. Next, of course, is dealing with that air intake. Well, I guess I could always just put this one on then. I took it off another mower, so why not? It fits. Now the cover. There we go. Right, so besides blocking this guy off, I'll figure that out. Maybe I'll have to order some vacuum plugs. Anyway, right, so I guess the only other thing to do is get the spark plug back in, get it outside, feed some fuel in, plug this off, of course, and give it a try. And yeah, I'm gonna have to figure this part out to connect that to there. See about ordering some parts. But one step at a time. Right, so right now it's a little bit late outside and it's really dark. So we'll pick things up tomorrow and we'll get this outside and try it out. Okay guys, as you can see, we've got it outside. Got a temporary fuel tank, but the light is fading fast. So I got to get this plug in. Spark plug wire on. Hopefully we got spark. We should have spark. Now I just gotta disable the bail. There we go, that should hold it. Attach the fuel line. And put the gas tank on. Lo and behold, look at that. It's a Tecumseh gas tank, but not necessarily for this particular engine. Let's get some fuel in. There we go, that should be enough. Probably more than enough. Now we'll quickly check the oil level. Wipe it off. It'll look like lots of oil in there. Yeah, I'd say we have plenty of oil. Good enough for a test. All right, let's give it a few primes. Yes, I know about that. Try blocking it off with a little bit of fuel line, or vacuum line anyway. And I'll plug it with a golf tee. There, that should help. So I've given him a few primes. Let's pull it over. Hopefully it starts, considering it's got no blade on it. Oh, that was awesome. All right, let me fix that. There we go. Another couple of primes. That took a little bit. Now we'll try it again. Can't guarantee it'll start because it doesn't have a blade. It may not start at all. Makes me wonder, do we have spark? Because we did put a different coil on this thing. So maybe we don't have spark. Maybe we do. Nope, we got lots of spark. Just no fire. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, let's try putting a little bit of spray inside the cylinder. And if not, that doesn't work, I do have an NGK plug I could try. Give it a little bit of spray in the cylinder. Plug in. All right, let's try it again. Oh, we got a hiccup. Give it a bit more spray. All right. I was expecting that, and it broke the handle. Ooh, boy. I'm going to have to get a blade and a blade adapter for this. But we did have spark. All right, guys. So stay tuned for part 2 when we can get a blade adapter, a blade on this, and actually see if we can get her to turn over and fire. Because right now we've got her turning over and sparking, and it did arc enough that we did have some form of ignition. We don't have it running. So we got to get it a little bit more in depth in this thing. All right, guys. Guess I'll see you in the next one.